everyone, my name is Keely. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before, and it is already time for the mid-year book freakout tag. So far I have read 80 books for this year. Now I am filming this a little bit earlier than I would like because I am about to leave on a 2-week vacation. It is currently June 12th, so close enough to mid-year. So I know there are a ton of versions of this tag out there, but I'm just going to go with the one that I've been using, and it has 14 different questions on it, so let's get on into it. So question number 1 starts off with a bang, and that is the best book you've read in 2024, and my best book is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Now, Ashley Poston also took my number 1 spot last year, so I would not be surprised if she repeats her crown, but this one just means so much to me. So in this book, we follow a woman named Clementine West, and Clementine's aunt just recently passed away, and she was very close to her aunt, and when she passed away, she left Clementine her apartment. Now, Clementine's entire life, she has heard from her aunt that this apartment is a little bit magical and there's a little bit of a time slip in it, and she, of course, never believed her aunt until one day when she walks in her front door and there is a man inside her apartment, and she quickly realizes that this man is 7 years in the past. So the interesting thing is, this man knows her aunt, and her aunt allowed him to stay there, and so she has like this connection to her lost aunt, because in his timeline, her aunt is still alive, whereas in hers, her aunt has passed away. So she doesn't want to kick him out because of this connection to her aunt, so they end up sharing this apartment together, and she slowly starts falling for him, and she has to figure out if this man from 7 years ago is the same man that he is today, and if he's still around at all. This book is fantastic because, once again, Ashley Poston nails grief. The topics of grief and losing someone and understanding what it's like to be able to love through your grief is amazing. She just nails it every single time, and she truly has healed something in me and my own grief and trauma journey that I didn't know was possible, and she has done it. And the romance in here is just so good. The banter, the nicknames, I just absolutely love it. And not to mention, this man is a chef, and I love foodie romances, and this one can be kind of considered a foodie romance, and so I am just a sucker for it, and I recommend it time and time again. I also annotated this one and marked it up. It was just so good, so easily my favorite book of the year. Question number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2024, and I'm gonna go with Exile by Shannon Messenger. This is book 2 in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. Now, I started this series randomly earlier this year and completely fell head over heels in love with it. I am a few books into it now, and each and every book has just gotten better and better, and they're each 5 stars, and I love going through all these adventures with Sophie. So this series follows a little girl named Sophie who is 11 years old at the start of the series, and she lives in the human world, but she's a little different. Since she was 5 years old, she's been able to read minds, and she is extremely intelligent, so although she is 11, she is already in high school. Now, she realizes that it's a little weird that she can read minds, but one day when she is on a school trip at a museum, another boy comes up to her and says, "I can read minds too. By the way, you are an elf." So Sophie has to go take a trip to the elven world Eternalia and figure out why she was in the human world, how she's an elf, and all of her magical abilities. I just love this series so much. It is so heartwarming, and the found family is iconic. Question number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but you really want to, and I'm gonna go with Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Now, this one just came out like 2 days ago, so I haven't gotten to it yet, but I did pre-order it, and I actually pre-ordered a signed edition. There you go. And because I got it through an independent bookstore, it comes with like this slip. And the independent bookstore copy also has this, so it's just stunning overall, and the cover is very shiny. Now, I don't know exactly what this one is about. I think it's another STEMinist romance from Ali Hazelwood, but I will read anything she writes, so I'm so looking forward to it. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I have so many anticipated releases, and I actually just filmed a video for my Q3 anticipated releases, so it's really hard to pick just one, but I'm gonna go with one that comes out at the beginning of July, so pretty soon, and that is The Love of My Afterlife. Now, this book sounds really interesting because it looks like a rom-com, but it's also dealing with death, which, as we know from Ashley Poston, that is one of my favorite things. So we actually follow this woman who believes that she has met the love of her life in the afterlife waiting room, and she has 10 days to find him on Earth to get a second chance at life. So I really hope this is funny, sweet, romantic, but also hard-hitting all at the same time. I'm really hoping it's like another Ashley Poston, but I don't want to get my hopes up too high. Question number 5 is biggest disappointment. Now, unfortunately, I have had several disappointing books, but one of the most recent ones was Homicide in Hulla Hollow by Mia P. Manansala. This is book 2 in this cozy mystery series. The first book is Arsenic and Adobo, which I read earlier this year and absolutely loved it. And this one I really did not like, and now I'm even contemplating continuing the series. So the first book, we follow this girl named Leela who kind of gets wrapped up in this murder mystery when her ex-boyfriend dies in her family's restaurant. Now the sequel is a different mystery, and the police are coming back to Leela to get her help to solve this mystery and these threats that are going on about this beauty pageant in town, and Leela is a judge at the beauty pageant. Now, honestly, this book had no mystery for me. I often forgot it was even supposed to be a murder mystery because we really didn't discuss it as much as I wanted, and it wasn't thrilling in any way. I also don't like how the romance is going, so overall, just a complete disappointment for me. Question number 6 is biggest surprise, and I'm gonna go with Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I just read this book in June, and I felt completely obsessed with it. So we follow the chosen one, Simon Snow, and he is actually a terrible chosen one because although he is extremely powerful, he cannot control his magic. And he actually goes to a magical school, and he is going into his very last year, and unfortunately for him, his nemesis is his roommate Baz. Now he is convinced that Baz is an evil vampire, and they know that one day they are going to have to kill each other, but at school they are not allowed to touch each other because there are obviously rules and things like that. There's also this thing called the insidious humdrum, which is like the evil of this world, which Simon is having to fight time and time again. So if you've ever read Fangirl or heard of Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, the main character in that series writes a fan fiction, and this is that fan fiction, and I just did not think that I would love it, and I was completely obsessed with it. I love Simon, I love Baz, I love the enemies to lovers romance that happens here because these two fall in love, and I just love it so much. The magic in here is ridiculous, I will tell you that, it's ridiculous, but I kind of like how it also pokes fun at Dumbledore. If you know, you know, but this one surprised me so much, and I just completely fell in love with it. Question number 7 is favorite new author. Now this could be debut or new to you, and this one was kind of hard for me, but I am gonna go with someone I read recently, but I've only read one of their books, so I don't know if it truly counts as an all-time favorite author, but that is Julie Soto. She wrote a book called Forget Me Not, and her sequel book comes out later this year, like in a few weeks actually, and the first book that I read from her was just so good. It was a great debut, and I'm just hoping it just gets better and better because I already love her. Question number 8 is newest fictional crush, and I'm gonna go with Nathaniel from Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. Nathaniel was my number 1 in this book. He was the number 1 reason why I loved this book so much, and every time him and Elizabeth were apart was agony for me. I just wanted Nathaniel there at all times, and I just feel like we didn't get enough of him because I just wanted more and more and more. Question number 9 is newest favorite character, and I'm gonna go with Wes from Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Yes to Wes. I love him so much. He is so sweet, he is so romantic, and he is just so funny. The banter in here is iconic. I tabbed this and marked it up. I buddy read this with a few friends, and we all just fell in love with Wes because he is just so great, and he is definitely my newest favorite character. Question number 10 is book that made you cry. Now I was wanting to choose a different book for each question, but I just can't not choose The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston because I'm not kidding, I sobbed for 2 hours. 2 hours while reading this book. Like the last half of this book, just sobbed. Straight up sobbed. I was on sprints and I kept commenting, still crying, and everyone was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not okay." So I don't know if I've ever cried so much in a book, other than maybe The Dead Romantics, but this one definitely made me cry. Question number 11, book that made you happy. Again, I have to repeat and go with Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This book also made me cry, by the way, but the fact that this book made me laugh. Books never make me laugh out loud, and I was up here on my bed, kicking my feet, twirling my hair, literally giggling. So this book definitely made me super happy. Question number 12 is favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen this year, and I haven't seen any new ones, but I'm gonna go with The Maze Runner by James Dashner. This year I taught freshman English and we read The Maze Runner, and then I watched the movie with the kids and they just loved it so much. So it was a new experience for me, even though I already love this story and the movie so much already, but it was just great to watch it with all my kids. Question number 13 is most beautiful book you've bought or received so far this year, and I'm gonna have to go with one of my Evernight subscription books, which is a horror subscription box from Illumicrate, and that is Murder Road by Simone St. James. Let's just take a moment. So first of all, we have the front cover, the nice little spine, the back cover here, but the piece de resistance is the naked hardcover. Look at this. Look at this beautiful pink. I love it. And the back, oh my goodness. The edges, I forgot to show you these. And then also the end pages. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in like Scooby-Doo or something every time I look at this book, because it is just stunning and wonderfully and beautifully made, and I just love it. And the last question, question number 14, is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And honestly, I don't like this question because the answer is all of them. All of the books. I need to read all of them. I have like 160 unread books that I own and I really want to read them, but I feel like I can't let this video go without mentioning Riley Sager. So his new book comes out like next week, middle of the night. So that one I have to read by the end of the year, and I definitely will. So no worries about that. So that is it for the mid-year book freakout tag for 2024. Comment down below what your favorite book of the year so far is. I would love to know. But if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave the penguin emoji for some reason, because they're my favorite animal and they are the best. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, all my social media links will be down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye!